For 10 years, Daniel had been a prisoner in a maximum security prison. He had long stopped believing that he would ever be free. Then one morning a guard called his name. "Daniel, you have a letter." Daniel was surprised. He rarely received letters and he wasn't expecting anything from anyone. He took the envelope and immediately noticed something strange. There was no name of the sender. He opened it. Inside was a single sheet of paper. The first sentence made his heart stop. "Daniel, if you are reading this, you still have exactly 3 days to escape." He thought it was a joke, but then he read the next line. "Don't trust the guard who brings you your food tomorrow morning." Daniel looked around his cell. Nobody was watching him. He continued reading. The letter described exactly how he could escape. It told him which corridor would be empty. It told him which guard would leave his post. It even gave him the exact time when the prison cameras would be switched off for maintenance. Everything sounded impossible. But the next morning, something happened that made Daniel start believing. The guard who brought his breakfast was the exact guard described in the letter. And at exactly 10:30 that morning, the prison cameras went offline. Daniel was terrified. Someone knew the prison from the inside. Someone had planned everything. He read the final sentence again. "Do exactly what I told you, and you will be outside the prison by tomorrow night." Daniel followed the instructions. That evening, he slipped through the corridor while the guards were distracted. He reached an old maintenance tunnel beneath the prison. The tunnel led to an abandoned section of the prison wall. Just as the letter had promised, there was a loose section of concrete. Daniel pushed it aside, and for the first time in 10 years, he stepped outside. He was free. He ran into the darkness without looking back. But then he noticed something. There was another envelope lying on the ground. His name was written on it. His hands began to shake. He opened it. There was only one sentence inside. "You made it out exactly as I did." Daniel froze. Then he noticed the date written at the bottom of the letter. It was dated 10 years earlier, the same year he had been sent to prison. Daniel stared at the paper in disbelief. Then he turned it over. At the bottom was a signature. His own signature. He suddenly realized the truth. The letter hadn't been written by someone trying to help him escape. It had been written by himself, 10 years ago. But Daniel had no memory of ever writing it. And then, from somewhere behind him, he heard footsteps. A prison guard stepped out of the darkness. The guard looked at Daniel and calmly said, "You're finally back." Daniel turned around in confusion. The prison stood behind him, but something was different. The prison was brand new, and above the entrance was a sign with a date, 2036. Daniel looked at his hands. He was no longer the same age. He was 10 years older. The escape had never taken him outside the prison in his own time. It had taken him 10 years into the future. And somewhere inside that future prison was another version of Daniel, waiting to write the letter. Subscribe for more story.